Yeah, hello everyone. We are here and we will be starting in 5 minutes. So join us. Yeah, this is some duplication of sound. So yeah, we'll start in 4 minutes and everything is okay. Everything is working. Yeah, hello everyone who is joining. We will start in 4 minutes at 5 or 6, depending on your time zone. So looking forward to start. Three minutes left before we start. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Yeah, if you have some comments or questions, please go to the comments, go to the chat and ask them, or just introduce yourself, because it's great to see you all joining us. Yeah, I can see on LinkedIn that there are some people from India, Istanbul, and from other countries. So thank you for joining. We'll start in 2 minutes. Very soon. Yeah, I can see a lot of comments already. Yeah. Hi, everyone from Poland, from France. Thank you for joining. From KSA, yeah. Thank you. Lebanon, yeah. Hey. Hey, everyone. Yeah, so many people. Thank you. From so different countries, and this is wonderful that you joined us. So yeah, we'll start in 1 minute, actually. We are almost here. We'll start very, very soon. And yeah, we just started streaming a bit earlier to let you know that we are here and that you can get your notifications and join us before we start. So yeah, it will be very soon, and we'll have amazing guests, amazing speakers today. So yeah, looking forward to start. Yeah. Oh, hello from Brazil. Hi, from Munich. Hi, great. Nice to meet you all. From Istanbul again. Saudi Arabia. Yeah, great. Thank you for your comments. So actually, it's time already. Yeah, thank you for your reactions, actually. I like them because it feels that you are alive, you are here. Yeah, so I really appreciate them. So let's start. Today, our live stream, we stream it to different platforms, for example, to LinkedIn and to YouTube. And it will be about social selling in MENA region. We are going to share some techniques, some case studies, and also our amazing guest speakers from different companies. I will introduce them too. They are going to share their personal experience on how they actually develop their personal profiles on LinkedIn, build their network, and how they, for example, prepare content and what they broadcast to their audience. They will share their expertise and share their experience, how they do it. So you can ask your questions in the comments, and if we have time, we will answer them during the live stream. If we don't, we'll just transfer them to the speakers and get the answers after the webinar. So don't worry if we don't have an answer for you right now. It will be later, but we will answer all the questions, I promise you. Also, we will have the recording, and if, for example, you would like to watch it again and maybe notice something new, you will have this opportunity because we'll have the recording saved on YouTube and on LinkedIn, and we will share with everyone who registered here on LinkedIn to our live stream. You will have this opportunity because we'll have the recording saved to YouTube, and I can hear myself. I don't know why. Just a second. Everyone who registered, I will just here on LinkedIn try to fix it, and we'll start. Just a second. I will just. I think it should be okay right now, and we can start. So, hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on social selling in MENA region, techniques and case studies. I'm Olga Bondareva. I'm a founder at ModumUp social selling agency, and it's a real pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you for joining us. There are so many people from so many countries, and I guess I know what the problem is. I will mute some of our speakers. Now it will be okay. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, and you're from so many countries, and this is very interesting. If you have some maybe your own insights on how to communicate on LinkedIn in MENA region, please share them in the comments, and it will be very useful for all of us. Actually, we will be exploring some nuances on developing a personal brand in MENA region, how to attract B2B clients, how to build your network, and we'll have some brilliant speakers today with us, and I will introduce all of them. But I will start with my presentation for today's webinar. I've already introduced myself. I'm Olga Bondareva from ModumUp Social Selling Agency, and I will be talking about our agency case studies on social selling. Let me share my screen. Just a second. And I will show you my slides, and we'll start. So, let's start. First of all, about me, I just run my own agency for 5 years, and before that I used to work for Microsoft and was responsible for social media there. And there I first knew about social selling as a method, how it works, what it does, and I started helping salespeople and business development people to implement these techniques and some other employees to build their personal brands on social media. And I realized that this is the business I want to do the whole days and even on the weekends. And I started my own agency. As for the MENA region, we work a lot with this region and generate leads and build personal brands of our clients here. And actually, there are a lot of different definitions what countries include the MENA. To the MENA, region, and actually this is Middle East and North Africa, and this is one of the versions. What kind of countries are included to this region? But there are a lot of different lists, but this is one of the versions of that. Actually, if we are talking about MENA on LinkedIn, we have 53 million users on LinkedIn. This is a lot. and 1 million plus active users who posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Of course, not all of the users, they post and they build their personal brands on LinkedIn. And this is the opportunity, actually. We need more people who post and are active on LinkedIn. But in general, people, if they don't post, they read the messages anyway. So you can, for example, reach out to them and start the communication with them, or they scroll their news feeds and they read some others' posts. And almost 1 million companies are represented in MENA region. They are registered on LinkedIn and they are also active there because they post some companies updates. So you can also follow them and maybe get some insights on what's going on in these companies. I would like to share some interesting specifics about the region. For example, on LinkedIn profile design, we noticed several trends. For example, the first trend is the quite formal profile design. I mean, in terms of profile picture, it's usually in business suits and very stylish for most of the speakers, for top managers, for example. And also, there are a lot of people who post some inspirational quotes on their profile cover photos and in the posts, actually. It doesn't mean that you should do it, but these are some main trends we noticed in the region. And actually, many people also reflect their profession, what they do in their profile, for example, in some visuals. This is also an interesting trend. Some other trends are, for example, headlines. They include not just your job position and company. Sometimes they include some of your professional achievements to emphasize it, to show it, to build trust. This is important to show some of your professional achievements. And as for about section, we usually notice that people post some big ideas and their big goals. So they actually think big, and this is inspiring. And there are a lot of interesting about sections here. And actually, this is some interesting things about profile design, but I would like to talk about some case studies. Most of our case studies of our agency, they are about lead generation on LinkedIn. Why? Because our clients, this is their main purpose usually, to generate leads, to bring new business, to maybe enter in new markets. This is why, yeah, we have lead generation case studies, and I will be sharing them with you. But other speakers we have, they will be talking mostly about the personal brand building, not only for lead generation, but for other purposes. Actually, I would like to talk about social selling as a method, how it works and what kind of steps we have here. First, we start with connecting with your right people, with your ideal customers or partners, or maybe if you would like to build your personal brand for some other reasons, it can be your potential employee or someone else. Then you post relevant content and you build trust and build your expertise on social media. Then you start building relationships, you interact with these people, put some reactions, comments, maybe even endorse someone's skills. And then you start the conversations, because it's very important on LinkedIn to be in the conversation in the private messages. Because if you just broadcast your content, for example, without any interactions with people, usually you can have some leads, of course, but if you have the private conversations, it's much more effective in terms of leads, in terms of interested people in your proposal, in you maybe as an expert, as an employee, depending on your goals. So yeah, please start personal conversations in messages. I would like to talk about some definitions here, because in our case studies, we'll have some results and you need to understand what these results mean. First of all, connection. Connection is the top of the funnel, how many connections we have in our profile, how many new connections we have, and connection rates is the metric of the percentage, how many connections we've got, yes, and how many people approved our connection requests. The second is interest. Interest is for us, as a definition, is a target audience representative who asks specific questions about your area of expertise, about your product or service, or they can request additional information and they can share their emails and ask you to send this information to them. And lead, this is the most important stage in our social selling work. This is a target audience representatives who shows interest in your area of expertise, in your product or service, and is willing to have a call or meeting to discuss it. Actually, if we are talking about MENA region, here offline meetings are preferable because people, they really feel better connection, of course, if they meet offline, so it's better. But of course, for the first connection, it's okay to meet online, to have a call and discuss first things. The first case study I would like to share with you, this is about fast delivery services. We worked with this project for 9 months and we continue doing it. Our target audience here is CEOs, COOs, heads of logistics, and head of e-commerce. And the geography of this project is United Arab Emirates. Actually, the industries are different. Actually, this is actually a mistake because industries here are retail and e-commerce. I will change it when I share it to you. And here we have quite exceptional results because with just one LinkedIn profile, we have more than 200 leads, interested people, and almost 200 leads during this 9-month project. And it means that we have approximately 27 interested people per month and approximately 21 leads per month. So it means calls. And for one profile, it's a great result because of limitation of LinkedIn. And it means that the profile works well. And it means that actually the proposal of this company works well too. And it's very relevant to the companies we work with. I would like to show you some templates on messages which we use because I think that it's important to have some actual templates you can also use for your business. And here is an example. We start with connection, like happy to connect, yeah, and then we explain. First of all, we introduce ourselves and we mention even previous role and previous company because sometimes it's very important to show your expertise and your experience, if especially if you worked at some maybe well-known brand. Also, we do some short description on what you offer, what we offer, and we explain it in details and give some advantages for business. And at the end, we ask for 15 minutes Zoom meeting. Of course, it can be longer than 15 minutes. For example, it can be 30 minutes to start. But if we see that it's 15 minutes meeting, people tend to say yes, because actually it's very easy to do it. It's very easy to start with this short meeting and continue. The next case study is about video analytics system. Duration of this project is 5 months. Our target audience is chief technical officers, chief information officers, and partner directors from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Bahrain. And they are from system integrators here. And our goal here, we also build new connections with quite high connection rates and generate some interested target audience representatives and some leads with whom we had calls and meetings. Here, of course, we have not such exceptional results as the previous case, but here we also have quite many interested people and leads, 61 interested and 36 leads in 5 months. And the message example is here too. We also introduce ourselves. We also provide some information about the service and some problems it can solve. And we suggest scheduling a call. Maybe these messages, they sound too saley, maybe too direct, but in our experience on LinkedIn, these kind of messages, they work best because people, they don't want to have long conversations without, you know, without the goal, without the purpose. This is why, yeah, they tend to reply better. They tend to agree to have a call or have a meeting if you are very clear in terms of your goals and intentions. The next case study is recognition and input of primary documentation. And this is 3 months project where we tested actually the market, and we've got a lot of feedbacks from the market representatives. It was in United Arab Emirates and India, and the target audience was accountants and chief accountants here from different industries. And there we got 170 interested target audience representatives and 26 leads with whom our client had calls, and they got a lot of information about the markets, about how accountant process works, and they even changed some things and developed their products to be more suitable for these markets. So it was kind of a research project, not just lead generation project. And the most effective message template here contains 2 parts. First, we start with this intriguing part that we are going to ask some questions to this person, and when they agree to get our questions, we continue, and we actually suggest to have a call. For us, it was very important to have a call with them to collect the information, and we needed to do this very fast. And after that, of course, maybe change something in the product or in the offer. And also here at this project, the lead generation mechanics in LinkedIn groups, they work very well because, for example, we could organize a poll in groups where we listed some competitors, and people, they voted for the accounting programs they really work with. And based on this information, we could come to them with some specific, some personalized messages based on their answer. Because if they, for example, answered that they use some competitors, we can use this information and create the message where we are explaining why we are better than this competitor. And if they, for example, say that they don't use anything, we can just start fresh and suggest them to talk about implementing some solution for counting processes. So this is how it works. And actually, one more case study about our agency experience, because we also try a lot of things on our own. And we, for 3 months, we had this experiment. We were generating leads for our agency in MENA, in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait. And actually, we were interested in marketing directors, marketing managers, and business development representatives from large and medium companies, mostly in IT, but in logistics, telecom, and automotive industries as well. And here we've got 25 interested people, approximately 8 per month, and 14 leads, approximately 5 per month. So it's not like a lot of leads, but these were very warm connections, and we continue communication with them. And yeah, it's LinkedIn is a very good way to start your communication with the audience. So I would like to show your template too. Our template starts with also with the name of the person, and we just say that it's a pleasure to meet you virtually, etc. And we are mentioning problem and solution of this problem, and then explain what's the method we use and some results of our clients, and what kind of partnerships with what kind of clients we work with. And we also suggest to have a call. Now we also test some different tactics, and maybe we'll share them in some of our future webinars. But this is one of the messages we used at that experiment. Actually, one more case study from Turkey, actually, because Turkey is not usually included to MENA. It depends on the classification, but in some classifications, it's included. So we thought that it would be interesting also to talk about this project, because this is an interesting project and with quite good results. This is a 6-month project, and we continue to work with it, but in different locations, because we, for example, worked at Turkey for 6 months, and then we changed the location because this is the global logistics company and it works in many regions. Our target audience here is e-commerce directors, commercial directors, chief executive officers, from Turkey, as I mentioned, and from e-commerce and retail companies. And here we had a very high connection rate. People, they just accepted connection requests, and they love it. Probably it's because of the profile design, or maybe this is about the open people in this industry. And we've got 76 interested target audience representatives, approximately 13 per month, and 43 leads, approximately 7 per month. Actually, for LinkedIn, it's a good result because these people, these leads, they are from large businesses. So this is why all of them are very valuable for the company we work with. And this is important to have them. Actually, this is an example of one of the messages. We start with some local greetings on the local language, merhaba, actually, in Turkish. And then we continue, we introduce ourselves, talk about the company and some facts and numbers, and we continue with our offer and with some details on how we do it usually. And after that, we suggest to discuss potential partnership. So this is how the script is structured. And as a conclusion for the MENA region on LinkedIn, what's important? Cultivating relationships is important. If you build relationships with people in the region, it's crucial. Focus on creating your authentic connections. Actually, this is why we brought the speakers that will be after me. I will introduce them because they build real authentic connections with their audience, and this is brilliant. It's important to nurture your relationships with your audience on LinkedIn and to provide some value in terms of maybe your expertise, some at least events like this, live streams. It's also about providing your expertise and giving some value. What else is important? It's important to show why you should be trusted. Mention your previous experience, use some regalia, maybe numbers and facts, or your some maybe other things which are important for people to just to understand that you can be trusted. And show your personality. Personal connection, again, I said it already, is very important. This is why it's crucial to share your photos, videos, and some personal and inspirational stories. It's very important. You shouldn't be like distant from your audience. You should be with them, open to them, and it works very well. And actually, from my Presentation, yeah, I've finished my presentation. You can ask some questions and also can check our website if you would like to learn more about our case studies or find more case studies. And let's connect on LinkedIn. I've created a QR code for that. Yeah, let's do this. Actually, we have 5 minutes for questions, and Kate sent me some questions. I will just check them. She asked, what tools and platforms do you recommend to make social selling in MENA? Do you have successful case studies in MENA for B2G? Yeah, first, let's start with the first one. For the first question, tools and platforms. Actually, in our experience, most people, they are on LinkedIn, and this is the main platform for that. As for the tools, but of course, you can try some other platforms. I know that Ahmed uses Facebook too. Maybe Ahmed, when it will be his presentation, he will be sharing some information about it. But I think that LinkedIn is the best platform, and it's very active, and you can reach out to people you like. As for the tools, we use, of course, ChatGPT for many things. You can proofread your posts. You can maybe get some post ideas from ChatGPT. You can even generate some maybe descriptions for your profiles using this tool. And I actually have some prompts. If you visit my profile, you can find the presentation I posted about it with some ChatGPT prompts on how to generate your LinkedIn headline, your about section, and some post ideas, etc., etc. So this is about tools. Also, some people, they use automation on LinkedIn, and there are a lot of tools like Linked Helper, Expandy, and DuckSoup, and some other tools. It depends on your decision, because of course these tools, they contain some risks, because you can, for example, send connection requests to people who are your competitors, and some other awkward situations can happen there. But it depends on you. Yeah, if you decide that this risk is okay for you, you can do this. Actually, the next question is about successful case studies in MENA for B2G. Yes, we have a case study with the agency which organizes the events, and they do some creative production for events, design for events, etc. So one of the segments was some ministries like Ministry of Tourism and Culture, and we also reached out to them and communicated with them in different countries like United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Bahrain. And yeah, we can share this case study with you if you are particularly interested in that. And the next question is, could you please give any tip how to search for target audience on LinkedIn? Yeah, this is actually a long question, because there are a lot of different techniques. In general, I'd like to say that LinkedIn search is amazing, and it contains of different filters. You can choose people by industry, by company size, by some other specifics like geography, job position, etc. But if you have some more advanced search opportunities and features, you need just to buy LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because there, for example, I specifically like the filter called they posted something at the last 30 days. And this is how we can find people who posted, who are really active on LinkedIn, and start with them. Or using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, we can filter people who studied at the same university with us and come to them with a very specific and very personalized message, for example. Or you can find people who are at the same group with you, or you can find people from different groups to know their interests. Because, for example, we need some people from banks, for example, who are interested in blockchain. because actually banks are quite conservative, right? But some of people in there, they are interested in new technologies. This is why we can filter by banks, by positions we need, but also we can filter by groups. If these people are in the specific groups, for example, about blockchain, they are probably interested in these technologies. So yeah, you can use this and find the right people. So actually, we don't have more time for my questions, and we need to go to the next speakers. So if you have some additional questions for me, please just put them in the comments, and I will just answer them offline, maybe after the webinar or during the webinar. I will just send you a message or put it in the comments. So I would like to introduce our next speaker today, Hussein Behbey, founder and CEO at Plug MENA and serial entrepreneur. Actually, people MENA too. Maybe Hussein, you will talk about your businesses a bit more. And Hussein will discuss his LinkedIn journey, because this is amazing, and I hope you will like it because it's really great. And he will be sharing some practical strategies for building a personal brand and your network in the MENA region. So Hussein, please start.
Thank you, Olga. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone, based on your location. I'm going to share with you some practical tips. It's going to be super practical based on personal experience. I'm not going to give you anything out of my personal experience. I hope those tips will really add value to you while trying to build your personal brand. So let me start by just opening my presentation. And here it is. So I call this presentation The Art of Building Your Personal Network, Brand and Network. What are the key tips that I always advise people to be? Number one, you have to be visible, because if you're not visible, as everybody says, you're always invisible. Nobody is going to see you. You need to share your personal values online. You have to be the same person who is offline, online as well. You cannot fake it. You cannot act as a different person online, sugarcoat yourself, speak about everything good about you, whereby offline you work in a different mode. And this third point is super important. Fear no human and let your confidence drive you. When you really learn how to not fear anyone, you will have the courage to be loud and proud online. You're not really worried about what others will say about you. I'm going to tell you this in another point. Be authentic. It's super important to be authentic, because when you are authentic and the purpose is to benefit others rather than only just exposing yourself, this will add a lot of value. And this is where your audience will feel that you are authentically sharing knowledge and experience with them. Make connecting with new people a habit. It can be a daily habit. I mean, if you try to approach someone to connect with him or her, either they will tell you yes or they will tell you no. There is no middle point here. If yes, you are both winning. If no, they are the losers and you will always be winners. Don't worry about what others really think about you, because you will never have everybody supporting you. You'll not have everybody who will really think in the same way you do. So write what you want to write, speak about whatever you like, and then the audience who appreciate you will always follow you. Another tip, if they don't value you, they really don't deserve your efforts. So whoever doesn't value you, whoever is jealous from you, whoever doesn't really recommend you being loud, one reason is that they want to be like you, but they cannot do it. So they will show you a negative part of it and always ignore this. Networking should be a lifestyle. It's never an 8 to 5 role whereby just when you are at work, you network with people. And this is where I always tell people, don't be afraid to use LinkedIn during working hours, because LinkedIn is not Facebook. LinkedIn is not a platform where you are playing games or doing fun things. It is where you are connecting with millions of people rather than maybe spending your time on just time wasting issues in the office, because every new connection means new business. Always offload your passion in any engagement you do. Let people feed your passion when you are speaking online, on LinkedIn, writing an article, speaking about the content. Don't fake it. Show them their passion, and don't speak about something which you are not passionate about. Energy, energy, energy. I can tell you this till tomorrow. When people feel your energy, they will follow you. When people feel your authentic energy, they want to extract it from you. So always be energetic and infect people around you. Positivity as well is related to energy. When you're super positive, when your energy is driving you to really develop your own output of positive energy, this is where you can really grow your audience and have people who want to extract your energy and be with you. Reputation is the most valuable asset that you will ever hold. Build a proper reputation, a clean one. Never really risk it for anything, because this is your fortune for the future. When you lose your job, when you lose anything that you have good in life, your people on LinkedIn, one of them is going to save you in a way or another. So my journey is a very simple one. I'm going to tell you this very quickly. I started in LinkedIn, I think around 2010, and many people know my story. I started as many people. I thought it was like Facebook. I used to put pictures, good morning, sabah al khair, on these status updates, until I noticed that no, this is not the right platform. This is a platform where you have to share your knowledge, experience, and share your values as well. So I started to create some quotes, personal quotes, and some people liked it, or many people liked it. Some of them did not, because they were telling me, you are not a poet here to just enlighten us with your poetry. But I did not listen to them. I listened to the positive people who like the content. And that's how I started to grow my audience. I started to speak about topics, which I still speak about today, that matter to people. I sometimes speak about taboo topics, which are, of course, professional, that others do not have the courage to speak about. So sometimes it's good to be the voice of others. If they cannot really raise their point, raise it in a positive manner, of course, only positive manner on their behalf, because everybody will relate to everything you speak about, and then they will really become part of your loyal audience. So I continued, I diversify my content every single day between videos, photos, personal stuff, business stuff. I amplify brands, I amplify people, I celebrate the achievements of others. I amplify brands who do a good job while serving me, because I want them to be an example and to share the best practices for other brands to follow. And all this, we do it on LinkedIn for free. Never think that anyone from those great LinkedIn contributors takes money for it. You cannot monetize this, and you should never monetize your contribution. Contribution is never something that you do for a materialistic income. So that's my story today. I live on LinkedIn. I don't spend million hours on LinkedIn. I just do 2 posts every day, and then I surf in my day while doing whatever I'm supposed to do. But there's always 1 or 2 opportunities for me to engage with my audience, because they want to see you. They want to benefit from your content. And this is a very important thing to do. Be there as a giver, be there as someone who really wants to share whatever you have with others, rather being there for a taker or to fake your profile just to get some likes or comments. So that's how I did it. I made my online channel or channels as my first home and my first office. Today, if you want to know about me, you can Google me, or you can go to my LinkedIn page or any of my social media pages and see who I am really, the right person or not to engage with or to work with or no. I practiced persistence. Some people said twice a day or once a day is too much. There is nothing called too much. There is always, it's your limitations and boundaries. You decide, but don't bombard people with boring content 5, 6, 7 times a day, because you will push them away. I created my own content from day one. I never went into third parties, agencies. Everything you see in my profile from the first day I started was personally created by me. Even when I was running big companies, my content that was amplifying the brands, which I was proudly leading, I used to do the content because I know the limitations, and I enjoy as well graphic designing and making videos and everything else. And this is where you are an authentic leader, speaking with your people and with your audience, rather than somebody else posting on your behalf about something that you may never see as the owner of the account. I gained every new person I met every day by being approachable. I was super approachable for everybody whom I engaged with offline or online. Anybody who I meet on offline becomes, after 5 minutes, my LinkedIn connection, and we stay connected, and that's how you grow your audience. You have to network to really build meaningful connections. So you don't really need to go and connect with that person because I want something from her or him. They will feel that, they will notice that, and you will lose them as long-term connections. Because if you only connect with people just for a favor, although you have the right to do that, every time, hi Hussein, I'm connecting, need another favor, people will not really welcome that because they are super busy, and you have really to pay them back for that favor by giving them a favor in the future, or if they ask you for a favor for somebody else whom they know, it's good to return it back. And this point, the last point, is celebrate others, which means if you have a work colleague, somebody whom you saw that they're celebrating a new job, a new achievement, liking that or commenting on it will cost you nothing. It just shows that you are a good person who is celebrating others, because you can easily ignore it. But what will you benefit if you ignore it? Nothing. If you comment on it, if you praise it, you will really create a stronger bonding with that person who will appreciate that, even if you don't know them. I had the confidence to push myself very lightly into other people. So I want to connect with a specific person. I try my luck. If they accept, fine. If not, I will not be very persistent and bombard them with messages and insist on that, because I respect their privacy and maybe they don't have time or they're not interested to connect with me. Speak always the people's language. When I say people's language, I say this is the universal language that every human being will understand from you. Be empathetic, be human, be positive, empower others, be good with others, share your knowledge. All these languages fall under what I call a people's language, and what really people want to listen and hear. Enjoy the habit of doing favors. As I told you in the beginning, doing a favor will cost you nothing. If somebody wants really a very big favor and they want to connect with one of your connections, go ahead and connect both together, because it will come back to you as a great form of karma in the future when you need that. Honesty is a universal key to relationships. You cannot be, again, as I said in the beginning, faking what you do, what you speak about online. Online, you are totally exposed. You are stripped to the bone, as we say, because if today you speak about something online, about leadership, about something good that you think that you are doing, and the people who know you offline, they know that you are not like that, they will run away. And that's why today I never ever speak about anything unless I'm sure about it or I'm sure that I've done it before. A win-win relationship is the most sustainable one. It goes back to the point of it always should be a win-win. When you connect with people, benefit each other, collaborate, support each other, and that's what we were born to do in this life. Your biggest sales team is never a sales team whom you pay money for. Your biggest sales team and your referrals are the people whom you connect with every day. I get many leads for my businesses from my common friends, from my connections on LinkedIn. They know me, they know my values, and they trust me. And this is why they push for me business and recommend me to people, recommend my business to people. And this is something I will never forget. And I will always note that as a favor I have to return for those people whenever they need it. What are the red lines? You have to understand that there are red lines that you cannot cross while being visible, building your personal brand online. And all this, by the way, takes you back to creating your own tool of social selling, which is your personal brand. I'm not gonna discuss here about the social selling tools, which Olga and my colleagues will discuss. But I'm telling you that your personal brand is your most powerful tool to sell your business, to sell your products, and to sell your services. So never risk losing the trust of others just for a few bucks here and there. Never just let any amount of money to attract you to do something not good, which will affect the trust of people in you. Because when you lose the trust once from one person, you will lose the trust of all their network, and they will speak about it offline without you even knowing. Your ego is your worst enemy ever. If you want to be visible online, if you want to engage with people, you should never have the toxic ego, which will even make people run away from you. People feel you, they can feel your ego even if you don't display say it, from your tone, from your language, from your body language, from the way you speak with them, from the way you really react with them, and so on. Never have a dual personality, as I told you in the beginning. The way you are offline is exactly the way you have to be online. Your word is your official stamp. Never break a promise whatsoever. People sign NDAs in business, in personal relationships, you never sign NDAs. So if you were really trusted on something, you have to be up to it. If you promise someone something verbally, you have to be up for it. Otherwise, again, going back to losing one connection because of trust issues will make you lose a lot of people, and the community will talk about you. Don't link yourself to people with bad histories and reputations. Don't take a picture or a selfie or even engage on people's posts if you know that those people are faking it. If you know that those people are not good, they have bad histories, because you will link yourself to those people. And you have somebody sitting behind the screen and saying, oh my God, Hussein knows that person, he's a friend of him or her. And everybody knows that that person is really not good. So stay away from this, because you will be an innocent victim because of others who did maybe bad things. So that's it in a nutshell. But I need to tell you that I have launched my two companies on LinkedIn. Literally, I went to LinkedIn, I announced my companies, I created the company accounts, and then my respected followers and network and all the supporters and all my friends on LinkedIn started to follow my pages, started to engage, started to recommend this business. So LinkedIn is the best place to build your personal brand and to build your corporate brand as well. You as a person who is working for a company, it's very good always to be a brand ambassador. Nobody will appoint you, by the way, as a brand ambassador. Nobody is going to come and tell you, you are officially a brand ambassador of your business. You have to be a brand ambassador. And the more you are amplifying positively the brand which you are proud that you're working for, people will start following you. People will relate your personal brand, your corporate brand, and this is where the real perfection happens. I have a lot of things to say, but my time is a bit limited here. Hopefully, maybe in future sessions, I hope those points will really add value to all of you. And of course, we'll try to reply to many of your questions. Thank you very much for listening. And I think I will leave the stage to our esteemed next guest.
Yeah, thank you, Hussein. We have several questions for you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a great and inspiring presentation. And if our audience, they will visit your profile, they will get inspired much more, even because you have a lot of interesting content and a lot of videos. And yeah, it's really amazing. Follow Hussein. And as for the questions, let me find the first one. The first question is what is about your most challenging aspect when you started developing your personal profile on LinkedIn. What was the most challenging thing and how did you handle it? Could you please share?
It's a great question. That's a great question. My biggest challenge was the resistance which I saw from people. And when I used to work, all my life, I used to work. So people think that when you're trying to build your personal brand, it means, you know what, you are forgetting about your work or you're wasting your time online. And some of them will say, oh, this person is building his or her personal brand to be visible so that they can find another job. You know what? You have the full right to do that because nobody owns you in any company ever. You have the full right to build your personal brand. So I face this a lot. Many times, people used to joke when I started in my very early days, where is Hussein? We cannot see him here in the office, for example. They say, oh, maybe he's on LinkedIn now. So that was a bit painful because it came from people whom you thought you trusted, but they were jealous. And most of those people who used to say that today are struggling to build their personal brands because they woke up late and said, you know what Hussein was doing is excellent. We want to do the same.
Yeah, great. So we need to communicate with people who are very positive. Yeah, have very positive attitude, not those who are criticizing us a lot. Yeah,
exactly.
Actually, the next question is about that some entrepreneurs, many of them actually, especially and top managers too, they feel uncomfortable having to send connection requests and write some networking messages on LinkedIn. They just can feel that maybe it's too spammy or it's too, I don't know, pushy. And what would you say to them? Should they do it or not? And maybe how to handle these feelings?
Of course, Olga, of course they should do it. There is no rule that says they should not do it.
Yeah.
But there is, let me tell you something to be fair with the people who are receiving the connection requests and not really accepting them. I'll be very honest here. Everybody is busy, and connection requests sometimes they come in big masses where the receivers of the connection requests will not see them. I'm one of the people, I have thousands of connection requests, and I'm not able to accept all because many connection requests are sales oriented, which people connect with you, and then the moment you just accept the connection, they bombard you with messages to sell you, which is their right. I respect that, but people don't have time for this. So rarely people will look at your connection request maybe and say, I'm not interested. It happens, of course, because it's your right to accept who to connect with and who to not. But take the step and connect with everyone. I mean, 5 out of 10 is okay. If you cannot connect, follow. That's why the follow button is always there. You can follow everybody. If you are interested to connect with them, then you may find a different way, but don't blame them. I'm going to be here by their side somehow, because many of them, they don't even see the connection request. Some of them are not active on LinkedIn, so they never see that connection request. But
yeah.
be very courageous, and yes, try to connect with everyone.
Great, thank you. And how would you recommend to initiate communication in private messages with new contacts on LinkedIn if they are not familiar with you and they don't know you? How to start?
I love this question. Never go with hi, hello, good morning with one word, because it means people will see you trying to open a chat, a time-wasting chat. Prepare your message to be very attractive. If you want to sell something, which is your right, don't make it very salesy. If you want to meet someone, for example, to sell them something, don't go directly and sell them. Try to tell them, you know what, I have a great product. I want your feedback on my product or service if your time allows. Don't push them. Try to make it in a light manner. If they're interested, they will see you. If not interested, they will apologize. So avoid cheesy messages because people don't like it. Avoid, I have a lot of messages come to me even without the hello, Hussein. We have the service, we have that, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it becomes like a newspaper. I cannot reply to that. You know, it's very unprofessional. And maybe I receive a lot of messages and I cannot see them all, honestly, unless LinkedIn listens to us and tries to filter those messages and categorizes them to be fair with everyone. Sometimes when I have time, I go through the messages. You know what really attracts me and hooks me? The way they started the message, the introduction. For example, many people, they tell you, I love your content, I have seen your post, and then I'm suffering from what you spoke about. Can I have a quick call with you to give me your advice? Of course. If not today, next week, but I'll do that. Many people, by the way, I was able to gain them as connections because of this.
Great, thank you. And it looks like this is the last question. Is LinkedIn your primary networking tool, or just in general the primary networking tool in MENA region, or maybe there are some other platforms where you connect with the people you want to discuss business, for example?
I think, look, this is not a sponsored webinar by LinkedIn, but LinkedIn gave us a lot. And I think there is no platform today for business and connecting and networking like LinkedIn. It's number one. If you want to go to Instagram, it's beautiful because people can follow you on Instagram to see your personal life. And sometimes you can mix between personal but LinkedIn is a professional platform and never just only a very rigid professional platform. I always tell people it's okay to post about your personal things in a very acceptable manner. You can post a picture about yourself in the gym, speak about mental wellness and physical wellness at the same time. You can take a picture, let's say when you are at an event, super proud that you are there. You can take a picture if you feel that you want to share a picture, but again, not a cheesy one. Put a video. So this is, I think I call it the one-stop shop platform. You can promote yourself, your business, your friends, celebrate everybody, and so on. So yes, for me, the number one platform ever is LinkedIn.
Yeah, thank you so much. And actually about personal content, it's very interesting. I've noticed this switch after pandemic and during pandemic, actually. People started sharing personal things. Yeah, probably because it was too boring to sit
No,
at
look,
home.
I tell people, you will have always people who will jump and tell you in the comments, this is not Facebook. You see it a lot. It's okay. You don't like the content, don't comment negatively on your other people. Just ignore it. It's their right. They can, it's your own space, Olga. It's your own space. You own it. Nobody has the right to dictate you. It's okay to get feedback from people, but it's fine. LinkedIn wants this. This is how you really enrich your personal relationships with people as well. It's not only about work.
Yeah, agree with you. And thank you so much, Hussein, for your valuable insights and experience you shared with us. Yeah, we really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yeah, I would like to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker of today's webinar is Ahmed Kheder, Vice President of Retail at Etisalat, United Arab Emirates. And Ahmed will share valuable insights into building a personal brand and building also an active community on LinkedIn and probably Facebook. I don't know about Facebook because previously we discussed Facebook a little bit. So Ahmed, please start.
Thank you, Olga, for giving me this chance to be with you in this webinar. And many thanks to Hussein for the very insightful information and sharing his experience with me and all of us. So briefly, this is my first webinar. So I'm very much excited to share my experience and discuss many important topics in that regard. So give me a minute to share my presentation.
We can see it now. Yeah, everything is great.
So good afternoon, everyone, and Masa al-Khair for whoever in the MENA region. I'm very happy to be with you today. And inshallah, we are going to talk about many of interesting topics like this personal branding definition. What is the difference between personal branding and personal brand? Why it is more important than before having a personal brand and to be visible in the social media, and how you can define and design and reshape your current personal branding. And then from my personal experience, what are the tips or things or mistakes that we need to take care of? And as well as how do you know at a certain point of time that you have a solid personal brand and personal branding, okay? But the most important thing for me, as I said, I usually do this face-to-face. So I like to have some interaction. So I will ask the audience some questions to have this interactive session instead of a one-way communication. So because we have a very diversified audience, so I thought to introduce myself quickly, okay? And this will be used during the presentation as part of the personal branding building process. So in a nutshell, this is my career, professional career. So I started as a call center agent 25 years ago. And I held many senior leadership positions, and now I'm working in UAE, mainly responsible for retail. Throughout my journey, I realized that my happiness is mainly driven by sharing my experience and sharing the things that I learned from my mentors and my colleagues to the young generation and the students. So usually I'm getting happy doing some sessions, sharing my experience with young generations. And I love, my passion goes for people, of course. So I cannot imagine myself working in a place without having and connecting with people. But the most important thing for me is that I'm a very proud father to a beautiful twin, Adham and Dana, and they are here very young, but now they are in the second year of their university. And I became the shortest one in the family, so alhamdulillah, they are taller than me. This is in brief who I am. And let's go into the brand. So if I'm asking the audience, what is a brand from your point of view? If you can share your comments, it would be great.
Yeah, actually, the live stream on LinkedIn is a bit delayed because of the settings, so probably we'll get them a bit later. Yeah.
All right. So as most of us, this personal branding started to pop up 2 decades from now. Is 20 years we started to hear this personal branding. Majority of us know what is brand, okay, when it comes to an organization or a product or service. So I once attended a branding event in UK 15 years ago, and what really grabbed my attention is this definition of what is a brand. So in a very simple format, a brand is what it does and how it makes you feel. So if you can go to the next slide, and I will ask you what comes to your mind when you see this brand. Of course, this is a very well brand.
Yeah, I can answer. So maybe auto,
so,
high quality, and
when I see this brand, it comes to my mind high quality standards. It's very luxurious and very valuable. It gives me value and very reliable. And of course, it's present all of the time. We have this brand in front of us, and it's very consistent, as well as it's unique. It's a genuine. And this is what customers reviews or customers say about this brand. So how can we reflect this, or can we have the same when it comes to personal branding? The answer is yes. So again, I will ask you, what comes to your mind when you see this figure? Okay, of course, this is Gandhi. And when I see Gandhi, it comes to my mind that peaceful, equality, justice, support, change, empathy. So personal branding has the same attributes or the same components when we talk about branding in general. So if we can reflect these attributes and can summarize them in a nutshell. So when it comes to personal branding, we should ask ourselves, do we have a purpose? And if we have a purpose, is it a good purpose? Is my purpose to support other, or just getting followers, or just sharing things on the social media without any purpose? Do I add value, or do you add value to your audience and your network and your potential network? Do they believe in you? Are you reliable for them? They can follow you, they can be inspired by you. And are you present on the social media, or just invisible, as Hussein said? And one important element or attribute is the consistency. Are you consistent in whatever you are posting and sharing, or not consistent? And of course, the closest one to my heart, do you stand out versus from the crowd? Are you authentic? Are you a genuine person, or you are just a copy of hundreds? So the sum of this, it's a summary of the process of creating your personal branding. Okay, I will share a personal experience. A few years ago, with one of my most influencers and motivational speakers. I was following him. I was really inspired by him, and I heard he's coming to UAE. Okay, and I rarely attend such events, but for him, because I'm a very big fan of him on the online platform, I decided to go. I decided to go and have a ticket and stand in the queue. And this was my online experience with this motivational speaker. He's a very famous across the globe. And this is my online experience with him. However, when I attended the session and I observed him offline, this was my offline experience. So as Hussein just said, having an online experience must be the same of your offline experience. You should not be a dual person. You should not copy and paste others. You have to be genuine, and whatever people are seeing what you are doing in online or social media, they have to make sure that you are real, you are genuine, and whatever you are walking, you are talking, and whatever you are talking, you are walking. So what is personal brand and what is the difference between personal brand and personal branding, okay? Most of us have these confusions when it comes to personal branding and personal brand. In a nutshell, personal brand is the sum of the personal branding process to create this impression, which at the end equals your reputation. So personal branding is a process that is deliberately you are doing to create whatever perception you need the audience and your network have on you. And then you create your own personal brand. Who needs personal branding? Do your mother need personal branding? Do my sister needs personal branding? Do I need personal branding? I believe anyone seeking to grow his network, anyone seeking to grow his business and advance his career, he should go for this personal branding process. So these are the masters of personal branding. So each one of them has his core or his DNA that differentiates him or her from the crowd. So of course, Oprah Winfrey is very well known by her, she's very true to herself and she wants others to live better life. That's why she has 90 million followers. She has 2.4 billion as a net worth to her brand. Of course, all of us, we know Gary. Gary is a genuine leader and a genuine speaker. And I will here quote one of his famous quotes that your personal brand is your reputation and your reputation is the foundation of your career. Same as goes for Branson's, who is very a real genuine leader who believes that if you have a product, if you have a service and you are not it's not visible to others, then you are not having anything. So these are samples for a good personal branding masters that I wanted to share with you and get to know what they are actually doing to be masters in the personal branding era. Of course, why personal branding is more important than before. First of all, it increases visibility and gives you an outlet to share your strengths, expertise, skills, which comes with new opportunities and career growth. You need to establish credibility, which will help you to create genuine relationship. And once you establish credibility, you are differentiating yourself from the crowd. Personal branding will help building a professional network and people like-minded like you. So this increases your network and increases as well your career progression. And this is very interesting information that 70% of employers use social media to screen candidates during the hiring process. So make sure if you want to increase your visibility, you have a consistent, solid presence in social media, especially in LinkedIn. So how can you build and define and reshape your personal branding? First of all, you have to understand the process while you are working on your personal branding building. And then you have to know yourself and what purpose you are going to give to your audience. Is it just for expanding your network? You are sharing comics, you need more followers. What are your purpose? And then you have to define your target audience. If your target audience are mainly professionals, then the most platform is LinkedIn. If your target audience is your family and friends, then you have other platforms like Instagram, like Facebook. Maybe you can use both according to what audience you are targeting to connect with and inspire. Then after deciding your targeted audience, you have to develop your online presence. Would it be LinkedIn? Would it be Facebook? Would it be Instagram? Would it be audio, video, text, whatever? Depends on the target audience that you decided. And then you have to showcase your experience, your expertise, your skills. You have to share your stories. You have to inspire others by your own experience, the things that you went through, and you see or you believe that it will be added value to your audience. And then, of course, you have to network and build relationship. And at the end, you have to be consistent of whatever you are doing. This is a very famous question. Is personal branding always a good thing? Well, from my previous experience, I can share with you 7 tips that we need to take care of. Never being fake. Don't copy or paste yourself. Never see anyone and you are copying yourself. You have to be genuine and you have to have values to share with your followers. Second mistake you need to avoid is getting followers for the sake of getting followers. And we see this all of the time, that I'm sharing anything just for grabbing more followers, but this will not be a genuine action, and it will not add a solid value to your profile later on. Third thing that you need to make sure is never to disengage with your audience. So if you are posting something or you are sharing something, always make sure that you are engaging with your team. You are engaging with your audience. You are replying to the comments. You are appreciating the times your audience took to comment on whatever you are posting. This is very important to keep the engagement level high with your network. And this is very personal for me. Don't segment your audience. What do I mean by don't segment your audience? Sometimes when we have hundreds of replies, sometimes I see some people only reply to the very important people to them. For example, if I'm working in an organization and I post something, I have 10 or more comments coming to my profile, and only I'm being selective in my reply or my engagement with the comments, meaning that I only engage with the high rank employees. This is very harmful to your profile and very harmful to your network. So you have to be consistent. You should not segment your audience. And please don't follow the temporary trends, and never try to please everyone. You have a genuine characteristics and you have a value that you need to stand up for it. So please don't follow temporary trends. And of course, avoid using inappropriate words and inappropriate content. 2 important things that I need to remind you. Remember, when you are on social media, is exactly like being on the stage. Everyone is watching, including your family. So whatever content you are sharing, whatever words you are using, make sure that it's appropriate to your family. This is very important, and this was done on a previous experience with me. And one important point is there is no undo on social media. So whatever you are posting, even if you remove it, it will be a screenshot. So take care when you post anything in social media. You have to stand up for it. It has to be coming from you. It has to be genuine, and it has to be an added value to your network. So okay, we have done all of this. How do I know if I have a solid personal branding? So there are some signals and some signs. For example, when your social media is a mix of your personal and professional life, as you said, Olga, having this professional post and professional context is a little bit boring. And of course, for me, what matters the most is a personal thing. So people, the highest or the post with the highest engagement, whether in LinkedIn or Facebook, for me, it was a personal thing. It was either I'm helping someone, I'm sharing my experience with someone, I'm adding value to my audience. So make sure that you have a mix of personal and professional presence in social media. One second element is you are known for something in particular. So Ahmed is known for 1, 2, 3. Olga is very known that she's very much expert in B2B social media. Hussein is very much known by his giving spirit. He needs to share his experience. This is very important to build a solid personal brand. And then you have to start receiving, if you start receiving invitation, same as I did from Olga, then you start to realize that your presence becomes visible to audience, okay? And this is very interesting for me, because once I started to use LinkedIn as social media platform, I started to get more connection. I started to get some invitation to speak in events. I started to get some invitation to be a panel, one of the panel discussion. And of course, your activities on social media are being shared. So the more shares and the more engagement on your post, this gives you a signal that you have started to have a solid personal branding. Of course, one of the very strong attributes or signals is that your name is being mentioned in posts or comments as a reference to this topic. And of course, your network is expanding. For LinkedIn professional, of course, one of the very most signals is you start to get more job offers. All right. So the introduction that I gave you during my presentation is a part of the personal branding building process. So if I would ask you what are the one or two things you recall about me, it will be driven by whatever I presented to you. And this is exactly how personal branding is working, being consistent in whatever you are posting or sharing, what kind of topics you are sharing. The audience will start building a personal perception about you. So at the end, I will end my presentation by two quotes close to my heart. Your personal brand is your reputation, and your reputation is your market share price. And the most important thing, the risk of if you don't create your personal brand and tell it, people will create it for you. Thank you all. Thank you, Olga.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Yeah, we have actually some questions, so we'll ask them. They're great quotes, really motivational, and this is true. People will create it for you, and yeah, if you don't control it, it's very risky. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. As for the questions, let me see. Actually, the question, just a second. What do you think? Are there any specifics of the content in MENA region comparing to maybe different other different countries, or specifically in United Arab Emirates, maybe some specifics in content or in behavior on LinkedIn?
This is very good questions, Olga. I believe one of the main differences in MENA region is the culture of the MENA region. So the posts or the content that is somehow linked to human attributes or personal experience, I think get more interaction than other regions. So as I said, having a mix of both professional and personal experience and genuinely posting it, I think this one of the things that differentiate MENA region.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, you're very open and share a lot. Yeah, personal experience and even emotions, some emotions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Great. And what do you think about the tone of voice? What kind of tone of voice is appropriate for LinkedIn posts? Because I can notice that some people, they, for example, post in a very casual manner, but some people, they do it in a more formal style. What do you think about it?
Okay, I will tell you my personal experience. There is a quote that I really like, which means that all of us has the same voice, right? Same voice. Olga has only one voice, but it has different tones, right? So
Yes.
when I'm dealing with my professional network, I use specific tone. When I'm dealing with my kids, I use another tone. When I'm dealing with my colleagues, I use a totally different tone. So I believe the tone depends on two things: the platform that you are on it and your audience. So voice is constant, is the same. However, your tone should be different according to your audience and according to the message and according to the platform you are in, because it's not good to have it's not commonly to have a post or picture while you are at work in Instagram, and it's not unusual. It's not unusual to post very extremely personal photos on LinkedIn. So it depends on the platform and it depends on the audience you are targeting.
Yeah, interesting. But what kind of tone of voice do you choose for LinkedIn? Could you describe?
Me?
Yeah,
based on
personally.
my personal experience, I like to share human or personal things, because at the end, especially in this era, we are very much competitive, whereby the materials become more demanding, people are striving for these human things. It touches directly their hearts. So the more human, the more interaction, the more engagement, people can feel what you are posting.
Yeah, true. And actually, a lot of people say thank you for your presentation because it was really insightful. And some people ask, could you share your interesting slides because they want to maybe read it again?
Okay, sure. All right.
Okay.
Very good. I'm very happy by this. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, done deal. So we agreed to share. Yeah, and I will check for some other questions. What do you think about using some maybe automation tools on LinkedIn? Do you use them or you do everything manually? What do you think? Should people use it or not?
Thanks for ever asking this question. For me, no, I don't use any automation. I really believe it's what comes from your heart, reach directly the heart of your audience. So I avoid using these scripts or automated, even at work, I don't use these formal scripts. I'm doing my best to do it from my heart, whatever I'm sharing. And one important topic that was raised in the last presentation by Hussein is the frequency of posting things on social media platform. For me, again, I only post something when I really believe that I need to post this something, regardless of the frequency. So I might be absent for 1 week or 10 days, as long as I don't have an added value to share with my network. So no, I don't use any automation. I only use my personal. I do it myself. Yeah.
Yeah, great approach. And I really like this approach when you share something, when you have this intention and that you really feel that you have something to share. I think this is very valuable for the audience. Yeah. And actually, I would like to say that when you showed the slides with the Mercedes logo, a lot of people commented on that, and it looks like it was very catchy. Yeah.
Very good. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, a lot of feedbacks from people. So thank you so much. It was very live presentation. Thank you, and we appreciate you. You made it, yeah, and you spoke at our webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olga. Thank you all, and thank you for giving me this chance.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining us today, and we really appreciate your activity because you were very active, commenting and sharing your opinions and asking questions, and you're being with us from different countries. This is also very interesting. If you could give us some feedback, maybe you can share it in the comments or send it to me personally on LinkedIn. I would really appreciate it because actually when we do the events like this, we need more feedback to make this event better. So thank you so much. And if you registered to the webinar on LinkedIn, you will get the recording because we have it on YouTube. We have it on LinkedIn too. So if you need to watch it again to maybe find some best practices you would like to follow, you will have this opportunity. So thank you so much, and follow us, join our next webinars because we organize them on a regular basis and invite very bright and interesting speakers from around the world. So thank you. Have a good day.